Rohini Swami is now with us from Bangalore for more on the story. Rohini, from that long shot where we see most of those men in the frame, it seems like it was actually quite violent at one point. Do we know what happened there? What started that scuffle?
Well, the visuals itself are very heart-wrenching, and what we know is that the boy, his youth, he's around 20-21 years old. He was accompanying his mother to the temple. This is a very famous temple, Krishna temple, across the world. He and his mother had come from Coimbatore, and the point to be noted is that the child is mentally challenged. When the mother was trying to go close to the sanctum sanctorum to offer her prayers, at that time she was rudely pushed. The son objected towards it. And it is at that point of time that the temple authorities stepped in. There was an altercation. The altercation got really bad to the point they started hitting the boy. And hitting him so badly, as we can see in the visuals, they started hitting his head pretty violently. A child or a boy who's mentally challenged to be treated that way is something that cannot be even imagined. More importantly, touching a devotee who had come there, and the fact that amongst all the pushing, because we know thousands and thousands of devotees come to Guruvayur Temple to offer their prayers. The idea is that most of the people who are there, who are usually stationed there, should be sensitive to people, not necessarily to women, men, children, across the board. Here we see the visual of how a youngster, along with his mother, and here the child, he's mentally challenged, being roughed up so badly. Now this has been taken into consideration, and after which a hue and cry was raised only after the video went viral. It went out, it was leaked out of the temple, and this is the CCTV footage that we have right now. Based on that, the Devasam board, the Guruvayur Devasam board, they set up a high-level meeting, and now they have decided to suspend 2 people. One is Mr. Radhakrishnan, who's the man you see in the visual who's assaulting the mentally challenged boy, and the second person is Mr. Anson, who is also in charge of the CCTV surveillance. For the fact that he had leaked, possibly he would have leaked the footage, he's also been suspended. But again, a high-level inquiry is being conducted as to why this whole incident happened. And we're also being told now there's a new drive that they're starting within the Devasam board to sensitize people as to how people should be handled within the temple.
All of this happening, Rohini, and we can see it from the visuals on the viewer screens, and they'll flash in just a minute or two. All of this happening as people were lining up to get into the temple. Is there any clarity on why those 2 men picked on this mother and son particularly?
Like I was saying, usually thousands and thousands of devotees come to Guruvayur Temple. I have been to that temple. You have to stand in line for long hours. So the fact that if you're standing for an hour or 2 and you finally get to see the deity, there is a tendency of people to stand there for a minute or 2 more so that they can offer their prayers. Obviously, the rush must have been very high that day, and that is why the mother of the child was being pushed away so that the next person can come. And that is when Radhakrishnan, who was pushing the mother away, this altercation started, and the son objected towards it, and that is when the people who were stationed there, especially the security guards, they came into picture and the altercation took place. But yes, it should not have happened the way it was, where the security guard would or Radhakrishnan should have gone and physically started assaulting them, because obviously in the process that the mentally challenged boy did raise his dissent, they did not like that, and that is why this altercation took place. The trigger would have been the fact they were trying to push away him and his mother so that the next person could come in. But this could not have been snowballed this way had the temple authorities been calm in handling the situation.
Certainly not the way you treat women and children at any place, let alone a temple. Rohini, many thanks for getting us that story from Kerala, and we'll be tracking what happens after this.